Hey everyone, welcome back to FedBiz Exchange. I'm Michelle Brown, and today in this video, I want to talk to you about something that Tricia created for all of our businesses that are trying to do their government contracts and they don't know what cost to track and all those things before they submit pricing. So this is a tool that we do have on our website. I'm going to allow Tricia to go ahead and introduce it to us. I may have some questions too, but this is the kind of stuff she does for all of us. So it's a bid solicitation pricing template. And I'm going to have Jessica use this because Jessica does have costs that come up that she really needs to track. Okay. And then one quick note, Tricia will reiterate this, but this is not for you to give to the government. This is for your own internal records and to demonstrate how you're going to come up with the correct pricing before you submit the pricing to the government. Okay. So Tricia, be my guest.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm gonna share my screen here in a second, and then we're going to go over this bid pricing template. It won't let me do it. It says it's disabled.
Okay, I may need, because I need to give you permission. Let me go ahead and give you. I just clicked on multiple participants can share. So is it allowing you to share now?
It is.
Okay, great.
All right, everyone.
Perfect.
Now, one thing that when my husband and I were starting in our company and getting started in government contracting, one of the most terrifying things for me was, how do I figure out my pricing? So when you're dealing in service contracts, when you're dealing in goods, what are all the hidden costs? And, secondly, how do we be competitive, right? So that's a whole separate conversation that Michelle and I will have another day. But this bid pricing template will help you determine your costs, and it will get you thinking about costs that you didn't know should be involved in your pricing strategy. So just starting here from the top left, we just have the title of this document, Bid Pricing Summary. And in this blue column here, you would enter your particular information. So we have your company name would go here, the name of the proposal, so that's what you're gonna get off of Bid, or you're gonna get off of beta.sam.gov. The next line is the actual solicitation number, and this is for your own record keeping and your tracking. If you are doing your homework and bidding as often as Michelle recommends that we bid, right? So we're talking as often as possible, 20, 30 times a month if possible, you're going to need to be tracking these solicitation numbers on your documents just to keep everything straight. And finally, the date. Now I have the date set to just auto-populate for the current date, but you're always welcome to overwrite that once you get your own copy of this document. And moving down, just a general overview, we have this broken out by your main labor categories. Then we have your subcontractor, roles and pricing. And then the costs start in this third section here. We have our travel costs, which a lot of people don't include. They forget about, they don't realize that their mileage to and from the government site, to and from the project, to and from errand running should be included in your pricing. And then below that, we have your other direct costs. The template is based upon a document retention / storage contract, right? This is something that my husband and I have been interested in, so I figured I'd use that as a basis for this template. But you're gonna make this work for you, however you need it to work.
Tricia, and then, can I interrupt just a second?
Please.
Those are some really good points. First of all, I just want to say that we won't always have the exact information on here. So for instance, if it's a product that you're just selling to the government, your cost obviously are going to look a little bit different. But to Tricia's point, the government will ask you for pricing that includes travel back and forth, that includes, and that doesn't mean just travel across the country or from state to state. They could decide that they will pay you, for instance, like in Jessica's case, for her employees to travel back and forth to work. They could decide that. They could give a stipend for it, or give credit for it. So when you're looking at the contract, you need to highlight the things that the government is asking you to do. And you need to ask yourself, are those any additional cost? And the reason this type of template, by the way, this is just amazing. I love it. But the reason this is so important is because you need to get your pricing right. You don't want to lose profit or put yourself in the hole because you did not consider certain parts of what you should have been charging the government. And this also makes you as a business person think about what you're spending. And you could use this for your taxes. All of those things are important. If I were to ask someone, how much, if I were, as I am mentoring, but if I were to ask Jessica as an example, how much are you spending on travel costs? Because what if Jessica needs to fly to a location where she puts some employees because she's a recruiter? What if the government says, we need you to fly out here? She could have contracts that want her to do that all the time. And if she doesn't go, she sends somebody else. If I were to ask her, what are your costs annually for travel? She should be able to tell me. And if she doesn't know off the top of her head, she should be able to pull up some records because she's going to need that for her taxes. A lot of these things you may be able to write off. You can only write off these things with the new tax deal that Trump did, his administration did, if you have the details. So you need these types of details. And this may look a little over intimidating, but it's actually not. It's very simple. Don't just look at it from the big picture. Take your time. And when you get ready to start bidding, or you feel like, how do I price things? You need to get something like this. So this is amazing. Thank you so much for this. And I can't wait until people start using it. I'm going to use it. I mean, obviously I have my own system already, but even though I only do products, I'm not interested in doing services for medical. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, I might only have 3 main costs, but what if I need to add an employee? What if I need to add an administrator because it might be a BPA where we have to deliver every month? You know what I mean? I don't have time to do that. I don't have anybody on my staff that focuses on that. So I would probably have to bring in, whether it's a part-time or full-time employee, and I need to track that information. And all of this becomes very important all of a sudden because I have to track everything. I need to know what my profit is.
And to your point, you have to know if you're used to doing it all yourself, and then you take you bid on something that's kind of outside that realm where you have to hire out, you need to know if it's worth it to you because your numbers are going to change drastically once you're adding in additional labor. So you got to make sure your numbers are right, because once you place that bid, usually it's final, the number is final. You don't get to adjust it after the fact if you underbid yourself.
That's right. And the government is going to take it. They'll take it.
Oh yeah.
And
they'll take it fast.
Yeah, because if you've submitted that, it's like, okay, you won. And then you remember you have to resubmit it before they make the decision. Otherwise, they can hold you to that contract. And it's right in the contract. So this is amazing. So continue.
Okay. And at the very bottom, we just have like material costs. Again, this example for like a document storage retention agency. So they may have to go to these big box companies to get supplies. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the top, and then as I carry over here to the right, like in this first section, we're talking labor. So we have where the person would be completing their labor majority of the time, the anticipated amount of hours they're gonna be working, and this total number is factored in. It's all, as you can see in the top left over here, these are formulas already built into these cells. So you don't have to do the math. So wherever there's a formula cell, you don't need to adjust it. I didn't lock it out of this template because if you want to make this template your own, I want you to be able to do that. So just keep in mind that the bolded fields and the total fields are all formulas, and you don't want to adjust that unless you're doing it on purpose.
Now, Jessica, they can change the title, like the project manager. They can change that to some other.
Absolutely. Okay. This can be like your company, like whatever it is. You can make it your own. I just didn't want to leave it blank so that you could fill it in, and it looks intimidating. It wasn't intimidating to me as I did it, but then you commented, and I'm like, okay, probably is intimidating to someone who hasn't seen something like this before.
Yeah, but this is what we need to have people understand. This is business. This is professionalism. This is how
Yeah.
you should run your business. And I keep seeing this. I'm excited to get Jessica using this. You know why? Because she could have multiple projects or multiple contracts at once, and
Right.
she needs to track this way.
Yes.
Right now, I could be wrong. We will ask her. She may not have a way to track all of her employees on different contracts. This is going
Mhm.
to be perfect for her.
It
She can
is.
also
It
see
is.
her income, the amount of money that she's making from each contract, and the
Right.
cost, the labor cost for each employee. This is
Yes.
amazing. I love this. So, you know, I also think it looks very pretty. So with those
It
of you
is.
that don't, you know, I'm talking about it being intimidating. It also looks pretty, but it's not just to look pretty. It is, or intimidating. This is real stuff. This is how
Yeah.
you become a professional. This is how you grow. This is how you understand what's going on in your business. So, okay.
Yeah.
So did we pretty much cover everything? Or are you going to go
We
over?
did. I was just going to go over, so
Okay.
we have your rates, you have your hours, and it totals it up. And then one special field I added here was for people that are doing service contracts, or there is not just mileage. So you have your travel from the site to maybe your
Mm-hmm.
company to the site, but you also have airfare potentially. I added
Mm-hmm.
in another tab that will calculate or do all those calculations for you. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
flying, just say you or some personnel in your company have to fly, I've added in a place where you can include your stay. So if you're staying overnight somewhere for a week or two doing this project,
Mm-hmm.
government per diem rates, the
And
lodging
meals?
rate.
How about meals?
Yeah,
You know,
well
because we
so
used
that's a
to
per
pay.
diem
Mm-hmm.
included
Okay.
in that. So this is like your estimate of what it would cost you to
For
eat
daily.
through the
Okay.
day,
Mm-hmm.
and then your lodging per day, and then your airfare. And then I have it all built into a calculation over here on the side. So this is going
Now,
to take all of those numbers, do all the multiplication for you, add in the airfare, and then give you a total.
so then where do they start inputting? I know they can change the information in what? In column B, right?
Yeah, well, they can change all of this. So you can change the
Okay.
description, you're going to change the location, you can change the nights, everything. You can add in the per diem, whatever you feel like your per diem is going to be for that location. I went on to DTMO, that
Mm-hmm.
is the government travel site that kind of gives you the government cost for things. But this is your template. You can put in your own numbers for the lodging as well. Airfare, you can do like a Expedia or Kayak and figure out the airfare, or use actual costs, and then your estimation for rental cars or taxi or whatever that would be as well. And
So
it just
when you
totals up
put in
over
your,
here.
when they replace the numbers with the real numbers based on
Hmm.
their business, it'll just calculate because
It
you
will
have the
calculate. So as long
formula.
as you don't touch this field, you can change everything over on this side.
Now, did you lock the fields with the formula
I didn't, and as I said, I didn't want to because if someone wants to add in something different, I didn't want to
as the
keep them
formula?
from doing that, right?
Okay. Okay.
But that's one of
Maybe
the recommendations I have on the front page is to make a copy of
I
this,
saw that.
the
Yes.
full thing and
That's
the
a great
tabs,
idea.
because
In
Control
case they
Z is your
mess it up.
friend. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if you mess
Mm-hmm.
it up,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully you've made the copy and you can
Mm-hmm.
come back.
And
But
of course, we have customer support on all of our services and
I was just
products.
gonna
So
say that you will be
you
able
can
to get
email.
another
Mm-hmm.
download if you mess it up. Don't
Mm-hmm.
worry. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
absolutely.
All right. This is wonderful. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jessica. I mean, thank you, Tricia. I'm thinking
My
Jessica
pleasure.
because
My
I want
pleasure.
her to really use this. And
Definitely.
we're going to talk about it. Of course, we probably won't do it online, but we're going to talk about her doing this, and then we will discuss her using this in one of our sessions. For those of you
Excellent.
that don't know, Jessica is our protege that we're working with right now, and
Okay.
that I'm mentoring and coaching her. And of course, Tricia is on the team with me. So whatever she needs, Jessica, we are just at her beck and call because we
We
want
are a
her
big
to
family.
win. Yes,
We want success all around. So I want
all
to see
around.
everybody win.
That's right. If
Everybody
you're
win.
with us, you're a winner, right?
There you go. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
okay, Tricia, thank you so much. I
My
appreciate it.
pleasure.
And I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.